Namaskaram, my name is Ramesh Natarajan and you reach the GRDIS Gurukul School of Spiritual Studies. We are an inclusive group and we specially encourage women to chant. We recently did a series on how to set up Kalasham and how to thread a Kalasham, and now continuing with the series, today we are going to talk about how to set up the 13 offerings for the 13 chapters for Chandi Homam. And to help me with that are my wife Sri Devi Gayatri, and this video is being taken by our valuable team member Gangadhar Vandamaneni. So let's get over to the table where we have put up all the items and take you through them and explain how the assembly is done. The first thing is we'll take you over a few items that are offered in common in all the 13 plates. So we're now talking about Chandi Homam, and in Chandi Homam there are 13 chapters, and for each of the 13 chapters we have to make an offering. These offerings are made up of general offerings as well as specific offerings. We'll now go through the general offerings. What you have to do first is get a few items ready, what I call as general offerings, and Gayatri will now point out to each of these items as I read out those names. The first thing is to get a silk cloth ready. You can buy a large piece of silk cloth and cut it into a size of either 1 feet by 1 feet or 2 feet by 2 feet or 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet, as to whatever is possible. We either use a pure silk cloth called pattu silk, or we also use cotton. Do not buy synthetic, please, because when you use a synthetic cloth, when you offer it into the homam, into the agni or fire, it starts melting and creates an awful smell. So you have to use either a silk cloth or you have to use a cotton cloth. Now let's go over the items. First we have a chatalu. Can you show that? The moram, in Tamil we say moram, in Telugu we say chatalu. This is not mandatory, you can also have a plate, but this is more traditional, and if you keep the offerings on this, it gives it a very festive look. And if you see here, for each of the 13 chapters we do have the moram or the chatalu. They're small ones, but you can see them for each of those chapters. And on that we first keep the red silk cloth. Now the color is up to you. We normally offer red or yellow because both are considered auspicious for Devi, because we are doing Chandi Homam. And on the chatalu or moram, we first spread the silk cloth and then start offering the general items. I now request Gayatri to come over to the general items and point them out one by one so that you get familiar with them. The first thing we start is with the auspicious turmeric powder or haldi. We can also offer the real haldi piece. If you have the piece, we can also offer that piece. The second thing we go about is kumkumam, chandanam or sandalwood powder. Then we offer akshatas. Akshatas are rice mixed with turmeric powder. Some people also mix kumkum with it. So we offer the rice with turmeric powder, and this is called akshata. And akshata is considered equal to flower petals. And then we offer a series of dry fruits, and I'll take you through them. You have almond, you have cashews, you have dry grapes, you have dates, dry dates, and then you have cinnamon, clove, then we have cardamom, sugar candy, and we have saffron too. Saffron is inside the small bottle. In Tamil we say kungumapu, in English it's called saffron. So these are all auspicious items that we offer. There is no hard and fast rule about this, and you can offer any of these dry fruits that you get. We also offer flower petals, and one of the most important items that we offer are the betel leaves and betel nuts. In Hindi we call it pan, in Tamil we call it vettalai, and paku. Paku is the supari in Hindi, and in English we call it betel nuts. So those are offered. So with this, the basic offerings are primarily covered. Now, once we have done this, we now start offering the specific offerings. So remember that there are 13 offerings we made for each of the 13 chapters. We now start with the first chapter. The first chapter specific offering in Sanskrit is called Kapitta Phalam. In English it is called wood apple. In Hindi it is called Chalta or Karambel. In Tamil we call it Vlambaram. And Telugu we call it Vella Padungu. Vellakaya. So Kapitta Phalam or wood apple is a main offering for the first chapter. Is a specific offering rather. Now you have to make sure that you crack the fruit before you offer it. Do not offer the whole fruit without cracking it. This is because there will be air inside the fruit, and when you offer it into the homam and the fire touches the fruit, the air inside the fruit expands and the fruit can blow up like a bomb. So you want to make sure that you already crack it so that the air inside it is left out. And this applies for any fruit that you offer in any of the chapters, whether it is a lemon, whether it is a pomegranate, whether it is a banana, whatever it is, make sure that you make an incision in it and cut it so that the air inside is left out. So here you will see in the first chapter the Kapitta Phalam or the wood apple has been cracked. Now we proceed to the second chapter, and a specific offering for the second chapter is Nalikera Phalam in Sanskrit. In English we call it dry coconut, and in Hindi we call it Sukha Nariyal. In Tamil we call it Koppara Tenga, and in Telugu we call it Endu Kobbari. So the specific offerings for each chapter are the most important thing. So for the second chapter, Dvitiya Adhyayam, we offer Nalikara Phalam. We now move on to the third chapter. For the third chapter, we offer Madhu Pushpam. Pushpam means flower and Madhu means honey. And the flowers that we offer, the most preferred flower is lotus or hibiscus. These are both very dear to Devi, and we have offered both, and then we pour honey over it. In Hindi, lotus we call it Kamal, and hibiscus we call it Gudhal. We can also offer rose flower in case you don't get it, and in Hindi we call it Gulab. In Tamil we call lotus Tamarai, and hibiscus is called Chembarati, and the rose flower is called Roja. And in Telugu, again, the lotus flower is called Tamara, the hibiscus is called Mandara, and the rose flower is called Gulabi. We now proceed to the fourth chapter, and in fact you will see that we have marked each of the chatulu or moram with a number so that we are clear that there is no mix-up. You can follow this method also in order to make sure that there is no mix-up. In the fourth chapter, the main offering is Pugi Phalam, which is a round betel nuts. Here the round betel nuts have already been cracked, and you do see a full betel nut and you see the cracked betel nut. Both are acceptable. The round betel nut is more preferred for this particular chapter. In English we call it areca nuts also. In Hindi we call it supari, Tamil we call it kottapaku, and in Telugu we call it vakka. So Pugi Phalam or round betel nuts for the fourth chapter. We now move on to the fifth chapter. The offering for that in Sanskrit is called Dadimi Phalam, and in English we call it pomegranate. Hindi we call it anar, Tamil we call it Madula Param, and in Telugu we call it Danimma. And here you can see that we have actually made an incision and cut the fruit slightly to let the air out. Please remember, this is very important, as otherwise the air inside the fruit will expand on getting heated and the fruit can burst, which can be very awkward. We now move on to the 6th chapter. 6th chapter, the specific offering is called Naranga Phalam. It's also called in English as orange. In Hindi we call it Narangi. Tamil we call it Satukudi. And in Telugu we call it Battai. And you'll see here that we have made an incision into that to make sure that the fruit is cut so that the air inside is let out. We move on to the 7th chapter. The specific offering for the 7th chapter in Sanskrit is called Kushmandam. That is pumpkin in English. In Hindi we call it Kaddu. In Tamil we call it Pushnika. And in Telugu we call it Gummadi. So we take a slice of green pumpkin. Now there are several pumpkins available. We have to offer green pumpkin. We move on to the 8th offering, 8th chapter's offering. In Sanskrit we call it Ikshu, and in English it is sugar cane. In Hindi we call it Ganna, Tamil we call it Karumbu. So basically you have to offer a slice of sugar cane for chapter number 8. Now chapter number 9 is interesting because it has a combination of the fruits that we offer for chapter number 7 and chapter number 8. So we have to offer Kushmandam and Ikshu, which is a slice of pumpkin and a slice of sugar cane. In Hindi we call it Kaddu and Ganna. In Tamil, Pushnika and Karumbu. Then we move on to the 10th chapter. For the 10th chapter, the offering in Sanskrit is called Madula Param. In English we call it lemon or lime. In Hindi we call it Nimbu. Tamil we call it Elimcha Param. And Telugu we call it Nimma. And you'll also notice that we have made an incision in the fruit to let the air inside it out. Next we move on to chapter number 11. Chapter number 11, the offering is the same as for chapter number 5. It is Dadimi Phalam in Sanskrit. In English we call it pomegranate. And you can see that we have made an incision in that. Now you'll also notice, which I forgot to mention, that we have also kept a flower, a hibiscus flower for chapter number 5 and chapter number 11. This is not prescribed, but we are expecting it to be offered along with it because these two chapters are Stutis to Devi. Chapter number 5 is called Devi Stuti. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Matra Rupena Samdita Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha. And in chapter number 11, Narayani Namostute Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanye Trembake Gauri Narayani Namostute. So because these two chapters have stutis, we have made it special by offering hibiscus flower, which is so special to Devi. Now we move on to chapter number 12. Chapter number 12, the offering in Sanskrit is called Bilva Phalam. In English we call it elephant apple. In Hindi we call it bale. In Tamil we call it Vilva Param. And in Telugu we call it Maredu Phalam. And as you can see, this fruit grows on the Bilva tree. The Bilva leaves are very special for Lord Shiva and also for Devi. And the fruits that grow on the Bilva tree are what are offered for this particular chapter. Now we move to the 13th chapter. The special offering for 13th chapter in Sanskrit is called Kadali Phalam. In English we call it banana. Hindi we call it Kela. Tamil we say Varaparam. And Telugu is called Arati Pondu. Everyone knows about banana, and banana is the main offering for the 13th chapter. And as you can see, we have already made an incision in the fruit. Now, if you can just go forward, I want to point out about the Mangalyam. Now, this is a special touch that we add. Mangalyam is what we call Mangal Sutra, and we have made a very simple Mangal Sutra by taking a thread, coloring it with yellow with turmeric, and then tying an actual turmeric piece to it. This is a special touch that we add because when the time comes for us to fold and close the offerings, we tie the four ends of the red silk cloth to make it into a bundle, and on top of the bundle we just wrap and tie the Mangalyam around it as a special offering to Devi. Mangalyam, for those from the West who don't understand it, it is used for weddings and is tied around the bride's neck by the bridegroom, and it's a very special offering for Devi, and it's considered to be very auspicious. And the most auspicious way of making this thread is by tying the turmeric paste and by coloring the thread yellow with turmeric powder, because turmeric or haldi is considered very, very auspicious in Sanatana Dharma. And with this we tie the bundle when we close all the offerings. Now we come to the Purnahuti. The Purnahuti, or the final offering, is there in the center. Purna Ahuti means complete offering. This is the final offering that is made in all homams, and basically a sample of all the items that is offered is kept in this to ensure that nothing is left out, and this becomes a complete offering. Now there are a few important things in this. We include the 9 gems or the Navaratnam. You can see the 9 gems, and we offer this as a special offering into the Purnahuti. And we also offer Panchalokam, or 5 metals, 5 pieces of metals also into the Purnahuti. And sometimes we make it very, very special by also adding a Mangal Sutra with real gold and what we call the silver tourings and gold Mangalyam. And tourings are generally made with silver and never with gold. Gold is never worn on the foot. Gold is worn only around the neck or on the hands, never below the navel. And then we also have here bangles that are offered to Devi. It is always advisable to offer comb, bangles, any items that are used for making oneself very attractive in wood. And once we get the Purnahuti ready and we tie it up at the 4 corners and make it into a bundle, we then tie a beautiful flower garland around it when offering to Devi. Now we are going to show you how we tie the Ahuti bundle. So you basically take the 4 ends, first take 2 ends and then knot them, and then take the other 2 ends and knot them, so it becomes like a bundle. And then you take the Mangalyam and tie it around the 4 ends. As you can see, it is tied nicely around. And then we offer Chandanam and kumkumam on the turmeric piece. Chandanam and kumkumam on the turmeric piece. And then we have this small flower garlands made with which we decorate. And tied around the four ends. And then the chatalu is taken, the moram is taken, and when the time comes for offering, then basically the chatalu or moram is lowered, and only the offering then falls into the Agni as an offering to Chandi Devi. Thank you. So dear friends, today we talked about the 13 chapters of Chandi Homam and the special offerings for each of those 13 chapters. We now have a very special rose garland too. So what happens in these homams is, once the Purnahuti is done, a special mala is offered to Devi, and there are special other offerings that are offered. Now here we have kept a rose mala, and then we have offerings of sari and a blouse piece along with beautiful hibiscus flowers. This sari is actually unwrapped and then dipped in ghee and then slowly offered into the Agni to the chanting of Durga Suktam or Sri Suktam, and looks fantastic when that is done. So dear friends, that completes the presentation on how to get the ahutis ready for Chandi Homam. However, remember one thing: the specific offerings for all the chapters are the most important thing. The rest of the offerings that are offered as general offerings, there's a little bit of flexibility, and you can use your imagination and bhavana and emotion to include whatever you want that is considered auspicious and to be offered to Devi. So dear friends, that completes our presentation on the 13 offerings, for the 13 specific offerings for Chandi Homam. We hope that you're able to make use of this information, and where Chandi Homam is being organized, you can participate in setting up of these ahutis and get them ready and know how we go about preparing those, and use that knowledge to good use and to participate in these Chandi Homams. Thank you and have a wonderful day.